Hi everyone, this is Matt Vazdinskas, co-founder of Flux Capacity. In today's video, we're going to let you know what we've been working on. Before we hop into our upcoming release, it's always fun and important to share some details on what we've been delivering here recently. So first we're going to take a look back at our March 21 release. This past March, we introduced an exciting new interface in Flux Capacity known as the Flux Planner. This is our new, really foundational user interface where users can interact with and understand Flux resource workloads and utilization levels. This is really modeled after the TaskRay Gantt chart in that it is a timeline view of work. However, this interface is very much resource centered and gives you an easy ability to expand and drill into underlying workloads for resources in the form of projects and tasks. It also provides a very nice ability to take action. So when we see a resource perhaps that is overworked and we're seeing spikes in utilization levels, you can easily dig into underlying work, select work to be reassigned, and then take action and reassign that work to other resources and understand the impacts to those resources before committing to a change. If you haven't yet had a chance to check out the Flux Planner, we highly encourage you to do so. Now, going forward, we're going to share details on what's upcoming in our next release. And of course, since we are still in an active development cycle, it's important to call out Safe Harbor. And so the features we're going to show today, while we have full intent on delivering, there's always an opportunity that we may make some changes to what's ultimately delivered. And we ask that you please don't make any purchasing decisions based on future functionality not yet available. All right, so with that, let's take a look forward into our upcoming major release, which is currently targeted at October 21. The first major release item is what we're calling the Flux Planner contextual component. So obviously back in March, we released the Flux Planner, which is a global view across all projects of resource workload. And we heard from many of you that wanted the ability to really leverage this powerful tool in a way that gave you project context. So I'd like to understand which resources are working on a specific project and be able to interact and drill into workloads in the same way on a project as I can in the Flux Planner. And so with that, we are excited to introduce the Flux Planner in a contextual format, and you'll be able to use this with specific projects in TaskRay and tasks. This will be both available as an embedded element inside of the TaskRay app on projects and tasks, and that's what you're seeing in the screenshot here. Is a planner tab. And then you'll also have access to this as a Lightning component that you can include in your own apps or in your own Salesforce Lightning detail pages if you interact with any of your TaskRay data directly in Salesforce. The next new item, we have heard from many of our customers and a lot with a focus in professional services. And they're looking for more advanced capabilities to manage long and mid-term resource allocation on projects, perhaps where workload or work plans have not yet been fully built out or aren't typically built out up front on a project. So in order to accomplish this, we are introducing some new ways to organize tasks and to track tasks as either allocation tasks or work tasks inside a TaskRay. This will give you really a new ability to easily assign allocation tasks at more high level across an entire project range without necessarily having to build out a complete work plan up front. This will serve, I think, agile teams either development or implementation teams that are working in sprint-based fashion, and sometimes only plan user stories or plan work plans out, maybe a sprint or two in advance, but know that they need to lock in resources for a longer duration for perhaps a 3 or 4 or 6 month project. The other thing this will give you the ability to do is at a project level, you'll have the opportunity to compare that project level's resource allocation. So the commitments of resources that you're making on a project to the actual work that's being assigned to them, and determine if there's perhaps an over or under use of resources on a project. Our next release item is an enhancement. And so with the Flux Planner released back in March, we're always going to pay special attention to usability. And we've heard some great feedback from customers. So the first set of usability is really just around taking better advantage of screen real estate. And so we are working to build more compact controls and columns. So really you can do more of what you need without having to scroll left or right much. We're also providing some cleaner, simpler data displays, and that should hopefully make stats easier to read with really just critical information displaying on the page. We're also working hard on a more intuitive task scheduling workflow, and also introducing new task filters in the Flux Planner filter section. And that will give you the ability to take advantage of the new allocation and work task types, and perhaps be able to look at the planner only based on allocation tasks, or perhaps only based on work tasks. So some nice new filters coming in the Flux Planner, so you can take advantage of that new resource allocation functionality. And lastly, we are working on an enhancement to really just improve the overall user experience for entering time away. We know that today, time away dates, we prevent overlapping time away dates with any existing company time away plan. And so at the top of the screen here, you're seeing kind of our current situation, where if we have a company holiday that's sort of falling in the middle of a date range that an employee wants to take off, what they actually have to do today is create multiple requests in order to avoid overlap with that company holiday. So they'll create a request maybe with an end date right up against that company holiday, and then they'll have to create a second time away record that picks up and begins after that company holiday. Well, with this enhancement, you're going to see greater ability for just a simpler user experience when logging time away. So in that same scenario, the resource will be able to create a single time away plan that may overlap the company holiday, but we will handle that elegantly. You won't have to worry about redundant or duplicated utilization numbers. So good accuracy still, but a much simpler and easier user experience. And with that, we're excited to hear additional feedback from you. We thank our customers and prospects for all the ideas and comments that you share with us. If you'd like to talk more about what's coming, or if you'd like to share feedback, please feel free to visit us on our website, or get in contact with us via email at info@fluxcapacity.com. Have a great day, and thanks again for your time.